Hey guys, thanks very much. Sean Gardner, flown out all the way from Sydney, first time in Ibiza, and I'm really happy to be here. And thanks for coming along to the Web3 content. It means so much to me to be here talking about this stuff with you guys, because I believe what's happening right now is actually the rebirth of digital music. It was almost born prematurely. The world wasn't ready for it. The technology around it wasn't there. And I think that we're going into a golden age for music creators, and I think that golden age is going to be led by the dance music industry, and that's why it's so awesome to be talking about it here. So my background, I've been in love with dance music for 20 years. My mum's a singer-songwriter. She raised my brother and I through her music. I've worked in the advertising industry at big advertising agencies in the tech teams for about 10, 12 years. Always on the innovation side. I did augmented reality promotions in 2010, VR activations in 2014. Started working on blockchain and music in 2017. So it's been 4 years now working on this stuff every single day. And then going into like 2020, we helped Deadmau5 and Dean over here sell their first one of one on Super Rare, and then sell a whole set of NFTs on Wax, generating about $300,000 worth of revenue in 24 hours or so. And that was right at the start of this NFT boom. And honestly, since then, the music industry has really taken notice. And right now is the time that I've just been most excited. The stuff that's happening right now, I think towards the end of this year, is really going to start to change the industry. So I'm not going to talk too much about the history of music to a room full of music industry people, but what I will say is that along this timeline, basically, what has happened is each iteration of music delivery and monetization has made it easier and cheaper to get music from a studio into the ears of a consumer. And we've gotten to the point down here where there's no further to go. You can't make it any easier to make music and get it out to the fans. So what we really need to focus on is how to make it better and how to put power back into the hands of the artists. So blockchain music as a thing has been around for 4 or 5 years now, starting out with projects like MusicCoin, Yujo, Tune, my own project Emanate, Audius, who have just presented, Mint Song, Sound XYZ, and Record Shop, who are up next. And each of these platforms have innovated, and they've done something in a way that kind of pushes the space forward. But we're coming to a time now with music NFTs in particular, where it's all really starting to come together into an ecosystem, and the things that we're working on are really aimed towards making this ecosystem work so that the new music industry is way less complicated than the old one, and we don't inherit a lot of those problems. The thing that I just really want to drive home, and why this is so different and why everyone's spending so much time and money on this stuff, is that there is no need to have anyone between the artist and the fan. But when I say we don't need anyone, record labels and managers still have extremely important roles, but there should be no big tech company in between. There doesn't need to be even a distributor in between, in my opinion, in where things are heading. So as soon as you buy music from an artist, you get the music and they get the money straight away. Bang, that's it. And mostly what I want to focus on is really talking about music NFTs. And what I mean by music NFTs, I mean buying a song with an NFT attached. So we're not talking about audio-visual collaborations or any of those sorts of things in this particular talk. So we just launched the beta version of our app about 2 weeks ago, which includes some things. I'm just going to play a real short video. Hopefully it's not too loud. So we've landed on a new tagline, Make Music Yours, which really talks to fans around getting comfortable with the idea of owning music again, not just making playlists and streaming it, and also empowering artists so that they can own their sound and make music theirs again. So Emanate does offer real-time payments for every single stream that goes through. It does offer real-time splits for every single stream that goes through for the collaborators or labels or anyone else that's involved in the platform. We've just introduced multi-chain NFT integration and token integration. So you connect your MetaMask and Emanate can see what you've got there and can deliver you the content that you've been collecting rather than you needing to jump around different places trying to find music and everything like that. Artists can create gated audio releases, so you can sell an NFT where you could sell 100 copies of it and only those 100 people can stream the song. And because we can gate the audio, it actually can be limited to like a scarce release. We also do Web3-based music distribution out to Spotify, Beatport, Tidal, all of those other places. And we put the revenue back through the smart contracts on-chain, which is transparent, fair, fast, efficient. We've got native apps that can also stream your music NFTs. You can save them to be played offline. And even when it's streamed offline, those payments still go through to the artist. We package them up, and when you reconnect, the payments go back through. So this is live now in Google Play. The old version of our app is in the App Store, on the Apple App Store. They've got a problem with the new version because of the NFT-gated content, but we're going to get that through. Don't worry about that. So last year, we also launched a project called Moda DAO, working with Jamie from Outlier. I hope you caught his talk earlier today. And Moda is essentially a music industry organization focused on Web3 and focused on moving the space forward through standards, creating tools that people can use, technology that can be open sourced. And essentially, rather than just building one product and building a business around it, it's set up on a non-profit foundation with a governance token, and it's designed to just move the whole space forward. So we're currently working on some smart contracts that artists can own for themselves, and they can sell an NFT of their music, whether it's back catalog or new. And there's actually an audio fingerprint baked into the NFT, similar technology to what Shazam uses or what's used with databases like Keynote, except we're putting that into a public ledger so that it can be referenced from other platforms, and it can create a source of truth around a song. Off the back of that, artists are going to be able to sell promo copies of their NFTs pre-release. This could be used in the actual promo cycle where DJs and music bloggers can claim an NFT rather than just downloading MP3 files. And this is all really like kicking off next month, so I'm not talking really far ahead in the future. This is what's happening now. Part of the work that we're doing with Moda is going to enable artists to sell music on any blockchain, but making it user-friendly through the app so that you can just play the music that you've purchased on any chain in one spot without having to jump all around the place. And that's one of the biggest challenges we have with Web3 at the moment is just making it user-friendly for people. So amazing team and partners working on Moda. We're going to talk a little bit more about DAOs with Dean later on this afternoon and in a bit of a chat, so I'm not going to go deep on what a DAO is just yet. But a lot of the people that are at the summit this week are involved, and any of you can be involved as well. That's the nature of the DAO, and we'll get into that later on. We've also been building a virtual nightclub in Decentraland. So this idea that virtual performances are really coming to life. I'm going to play a quick video and try and talk over the top of it. I hope that works. So what I'm going to play is a really early, not really early, but sort of in-progress version of this virtual club, which is the first version is going to go live next month, and I'll talk about some of the features and things. So it's been inspired by Printworks in London and sort of by Kraftwerk in Berlin as well. And this space is inside Decentraland. I think we've probably talked about that a little bit today. It's a virtual club that can be accessed by anyone 24/7. You're not seeing any people in there or anything yet because it's still in development. But as a Moda community member, you're going to be able to book a room to play a private party to your friends. You could create an NFT token so that you can actually charge people to go to that party. We'll be able to host monthly headliners at this space where artists like deadmau5 and so forth can play essentially a live show like they would in real life, and people can attend in this virtual venue. Again, integrating NFTs different access areas, and yeah, all sorts of different ways that we can bring this virtual entertainment experience to life. It doesn't have to be through VR, it can just be through the screen, but we're also looking at new audio techniques like introducing a little bit of spatial engineering, spatial reverb, and that type of thing, a little bit of ambient crowd noise in sections of the performance, so that you do feel like you're getting a little bit of a live music performance in the virtual world. So yeah, while the guy's running around a little bit there's several different areas, inside, outside, and it could be fully branded for whoever we're partnering with that wants to use the space. And that's opening next month. So some of the stuff that I'm talking about here, really, what I truly believe is that this is not just an industry iteration, and I think a lot of the speakers this week have mentioned this. It's truly taking the music industry, and specifically electronic music industry, into a new paradigm. Just to reiterate some of these things, connecting directly with fans, being able to retain that relationship through the tokens that they hold, being able to have collectors again, having no middlemen involved in any of this, and giving digital music that ability to actually own something, make it scarce if you want, and prove that it's an authentic copy that's been purchased from the artist that you love. So stepping into this new kind of world, it involves a little bit of a mindset shift for artists and managers and label managers, where the Web 2 space, as much as the amazing things that have happened over the last sort of 10, 15 years, it has made us think about likes, followers, streams. What do I need to put in my song to stop someone skipping it on Spotify? What section of it might they use in a TikTok? Is it going to be put on a playlist? And this has kind of led to quite a short shelf life for music and for artists needing to churn out way more music than maybe they even want to. And we've seen some pretty awful quotes from guys like Daniel Ek saying that artists that aren't making enough money aren't working hard enough, which is very funny. So the Web3 world moves us into a space where it's the media and marketing side is about real engagement. It's not about 1 million followers that think that your Instagram is funny. It's about 1,000 followers that really love your music and would purchase an NFT from you. And that comes through emotional connection and getting people to truly appreciate your creativity. And then on the music release side, I think there's going to be way more focus on artistic integrity, creative expression, creating work that has longevity, albums that you can enjoy for a long period of time. And the idea of scarcity and craftsmanship in the music. So, nearly there. But yeah, that's it. It's about like bringing the soul back into the music and bringing back some of those things that we had when music was distributed physically, but bringing them into the digital world. So these music NFTs are going to be more collectible than physical music was, because it doesn't scratch, it doesn't get lost in the car, it doesn't go moldy if you don't play it. It's there forever on the blockchain. It might go down in value, it might go up in value, who knows, but it'll always be yours. More per copy revenue than digital downloads. So one of the points that I kind of missed earlier is that each of these different music industry iterations has had some good things about it and some bad things about it, but what's happening now with music NFTs is that the best parts of everything kind of come back. So you're getting that per copy digital revenue. You're getting the convenience of streaming now with, for example, Emanate, where I just showed you how those music NFTs can be streamed in a native app that works just like Spotify. And I briefly just want to touch on the cultural energy that's coming through in the Web3 space. What made electronic music really exciting for most of us was that it was an underground movement. It was anti-establishment. It was fucking cool to be a part of. And we've watched it grow into this big commercial beast, which is awesome as well. And people have been able to make amazing careers from it. But a little bit of that has been lost. And the crypto space is doing the same thing. Over the last 3 or 4 years, it's come from the underground. It's got that anti-establishment ethos, but it's online, and it's just really convenient that there happens to be a hell of a lot of money involved now as well, and that means that we can do this stuff rapidly, and there's real reason to do so. So I think the merging of these two cultures the electronic music side and the Web3 side is a really exciting thing. So, what comes next will be marvelous. Hopefully some of you get that little snippet there, because I'm really looking forward to the gig on Friday up at the Villa. And what I want to talk about is the next 1 to 5 years. I think this is where we're going to see this golden age for electronic music. So streaming revenue is continuing to grow. Goldman Sachs have predicted it will 10x by 2030, and that's because you've got the emerging world and China and India starting to pay for premium streaming subscriptions. So even streaming will kind of fix itself over the next decade or so. But on top of that, you've got direct revenue stream that can come through from these music NFTs that I've just been talking about. Obviously, more revenue from digital merch and Web3 collaborations in this whole new world that's emerged. Live music is back after a couple of years, and now virtual performance is here as well. So this is all happening right now, and it's just going to, mature and come to fruition over the next 5. And then in the kind of 5 to 10 year time frame, I think we're really looking at a new paradigm for music creators and nightlife and consumers as well. Clayton touched on a lot of these things that Audius is already doing, and I think it's going to become something that's almost automated. The fingerprints that we're putting into our Moda NFTs will enable automated remix payments, stem recognition, all of these things that people have been working on for a while in the kind of Web 2.0 world are coming across. You can imagine crowdsourced broadcast data from the smartphone around where music's being played and enjoyed. NFT-based watermarking that could completely solve some of the piracy issues we've seen in the past. Live and virtual hybrid events as standard. Like, you can have 1,000 people at your show and 100,000 online, just as a standard thing that has to happen in every venue. And the virtual version might come to life through something like the club that I just showed you guys. And I think, we could get into ultra scarce music releases where you literally need to sign a transaction on MetaMask before you can play a song at a festival or a club, and there's literally 3 or 4 copies of it in the world, and then it starts to kind of get opened up. And NFT-based music distribution. I personally believe that the future of releasing music is going to be selling an NFT to your fans, and then the streaming platforms will consume that music and that data down from the NFT, and that's it. It will actually be easier to distribute music than what it is currently. So, that's all I've got for you today. Make music yours. And I just want to quickly shout out, the background visual is an NFT from a Sydney-based producer called Taka Perry. His song can be streamed on Emanate and can be purchased on Mint Songs. And the music behind the nightclub walkthrough is by a young up-and-coming producer named Roby. And Kelvin was on the Emanate clip that I showed you guys. So thanks very much. Happy to answer any questions.
Hi, I'm with Changing Faces. My name's Dave Collins. I'm sort of the tech side, DJ side sort of thing. Interesting talk. I like the bit with the virtual club. Thought it was really cool. One thing I was curious of is there any technologies from the gaming sphere that you're going to be using for this? One thing that came to mind is ray traced audio and being able to actually hear how the dynamics of the sound work within that space.
Did you mean spatial audio that when you move around, you're kind of experiencing different aspects of the music?
More like the audio itself was being simulated. So do you like ray tracing and how that works with
Not
lighting?
familiar with it.
So it's the idea that you literally simulate how sound works. So as it bounces off a surface, you hear how the sound changes.
Getting into binaural recording and that
Precisely,
sort of thing. Look, I don't think it's kind of got anything to do with music NFTs and the sort of crux of that sort of stuff, but the Web3 world is being brought to life through integration of all of these exciting technologies. I'm a huge fan of listening to binaural recordings and how much it can take you to the space, and I guess that's kind of what has informed our thinking around introducing a little bit of that with, say, a DJ mix being played back in one of these kind of areas. I would love to experience that type of thing with the recording that you're talking about. And with Moda, we're partnered with Subpack, for instance. And if you're sitting at home and you choose to throw on the VR goggles and you're wearing a Subpack and you've got the spatial audio, you're nearly there.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you. Thank you for the talk. I'm Thierry from Winamp. Just wondering, what is the business model? If you could talk a little bit about Emanate And also, if there is one, how would you describe or say you differentiate from a middleman if there is a business model?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the business model is focused around the token. So there is an Emanate token. If you've got that token, you can access the full suite of pro features on the platform. We have like artists in Venezuela, Argentina, lots of places where it's actually pretty hard to get a credit card, and you might not be able to pay a subscription fee for say, your pro SoundCloud, for instance. So if you can just purchase a token because it's actually easier to work with crypto in your country, you can get your music on Spotify through Emanate. You can earn streams through Emanate. And our business model is based around the tokenomics mostly. But there's new stuff coming through like NFT sales, NFT trading on the platform where there's more of a transactional based revenue flow. And yes, the platforms like Emanate do need to make some money in order to continue, in order to exist. But the idea, as I guess Clayton touched on previously around decentralization, is that our goal as Emanate is not to eventually go public and have to extract money from the music industry to give our shareholders dividends. The idea is to put the community in control of the platform. The community holds the token, you build value in the token, and that's how everyone kind of wins together. So it's definitely a shift to traditional business model thinking. I guess technically there's still something in the middle, but it's better than the kind of capitalistic structures of the past that we've known.